I want to build a solid tool post for my lathe to try and remove some of the flex that's in the compound. As you can see, this tool holder I've had to nibble out a little bit to allow it to sit just below the compound slide so that the tool's actually on center height. So ideally I'd like to have these tools somewhat higher up on the tool post, A, so I can rotate the tool post to get different angles, and B, so it's better clamped by the clamping mechanism. But I obviously don't want to lose the ability to use the compound, and I don't want to have to reset center heights every time I switch between the rigid tool post and the compound. So I want to reduce the height of the compound by about 8mm just to move these tool holders up a little bit. But that's a good thing in that it will make the compound more rigid. So before I get started on that, I've had a sticker from Hersch Tool in Delaware.
Hi, I'm in Delaware.
Hersch Tool does some great videos, good humour, tackles hobbyist level problems and makes some excellent tooling, things like that. Really good channel, worth a look. Let's put the sticker on the board. So thanks for the sticker, David, and everyone go and check his channel out, link in the description, and I'll put a link up here somewhere. Back to this. So I've already had this apart because I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Tool post comes off. So the angle section is pinned and bolted into the bottom of the compound slide. So when this is mated together, you can see that you've got these nuts, top and bottom, the rather small diameter post that the compound sits on, which joins to the angle disc. Now, first problem there is that it's clamped along a line which mechanically isn't great because it can rock. So first thing I want to do is put 4 holes in here, so it's clamped in a square. That should result in a much more rigid clamping of the base section. Now, in order to lose the 8mm off this thing, I'm going to machine 8mm off this lump here. The nut which holds the lead screw there is held in place by this plug and screw. That's obviously going to have to be reduced by a similar amount. So that'll deal with dropping the height by the requisite amount. I also think that this face here isn't very flat. It's been scraped, but that is in no way flat. So I'm going to give that a skim on the mill and then lap it a bit flatter. That can't be helping. So as usual with a Chinese tool, it works, but it's tons of room for improvement. So let's get going. Right, so zeroed that out on the down feed. I'm going to take 6mm off to begin with. 8 is getting very close to having basically no room to work with. So it's going to be messy, so I'm going to put the plastic sheet around the mill. That keeps all the grot in the machine, doesn't spread it around the workshop. It's being cast iron. It'll be messy. Right, let's machine that. Yeah. I'm just going to make sure these threads are all as low as they can go. A few more turns there to be had. So I've done a little bit of measuring. As far as I can tell, that is pretty parallel to the important face here. Next thing to do is just to try and lap this a little bit, because this, as we saw earlier, is in no way flat, and that cannot be helping. And you can see the sort of halo around here, which is a bit of a dip. It's cleaned up here where the stud pulls up, so that was obviously a bit of a crown. And then there's a bit of a dip here, and then it's cleaned all the way around the outside. So yeah, it's definitely not very flat. So I took another pass, I've lapped it a bit, and it's reasonably flat. Now let's deal with this big burr in here. That's cleaned up that hole nicely. Refit the stud. That roll pin's a little proud, I might just grind that off. That's better. Okay, so next piece of the puzzle is this. So I just wanted to prove before I do any more cutting that I'm not done anything stupid, and it does look like the spanner and the nut will fit underneath there. Alright, I finished doing those cutouts. I found some bolts and cut them down for these two, and I've cut down the studs for those so they don't protrude too high. So now I just need to reassemble everything. So the last piece of the puzzle is this little plug here. Normally I'd just chuck it in the lathe, turn it, but I'm going to have to do that in the mill because I don't have a lathe at the moment. So now the tool post is back on, I can set to work getting my tools back on centre height. So I've been through all my tools, they're now all on the new centre height. That's a job I've been meaning to do for years, so I'm glad I've made a start on that. So next time I'll be making the solid tool post riser. I'm probably going to fabricate it out of thickish plate rather than having a complete solid piece, partly because I don't have a big enough solid piece. The push to do this was the fact that I was trying to do the parts for the collet chuck, which I've been working on, and I was having real trouble with chatter and just general rigidity on the lathe. But I think the solid tool post riser should be a good improvement anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that. Check out Hersch tool, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.